Some typical lower back pain readings. 10% lower back strain, that's typical. 0% for radiculopathy. 0% ratings, they're all over the board. That's typical, 0s and 10s. The neck is also included in back pain ratings. You can have different ratings for your neck and your back. Cervical strain here, 20%. Radiculopathy, that's a good secondary actually. Right upper extremity. We have a cervical strain right here at 20%. That's a decent neck rating. You could have different ratings for your neck and your back. We have a lumbosacral strain right here at 20%. That's decent. Left upper extremity, that one is 20%. I'm showing you examples here because these are the typical ratings that I'm able to access, and I want to show you stuff in va.gov and e-benefits, stuff that you can relate to and stuff that you're looking at. So that's why I'm using these examples, using my little iPad and my pencil. So hopefully my illustrations are making sense for you. Here's another example. Here's a lumbosacral strain at 10%. Got a secondary, that's what this means. 10% for sciatic pain / radiculopathy. Here's another cervical, so 10, 10, 10. Typical ratings. So this is the best example I can kind of come up with right now. A glass of water. So you have a glass, I guess this isn't half full, it's 3/4, right? It's 1 cup. That's where it is now. You want it to fill up here. But what happens if you want to put 5 gallons in there? 5 gallons of water in 1 cup. You're probably going to end up with some overflow. You can only put so much water in 1 cup, right? Same thing with back ratings. They only go so high. They max out. So how do you add more to it? Speaking of water, they call this the Camp Lejeune historic. It's not historic, it's toxic. Camp Lejeune, toxic drinking water. If you are at Camp Lejeune and you want to file a water lawsuit, I have a link in the description here and it outlines everything you need to know. You need to file high value secondary claims to get your back rating where you should actually be compensated at. You have to learn how the VA rates your back, which is low, and they lowball. You want to file high value secondary claims. I define high value as 30% or higher, IBS, right? IBS, 30%. Obstructive sleep apnea comes in at 50%. That's a good one. Looks like we have a couple secondaries here. Diabetes, 10%. Urinary frequency, 10%. Varicose veins, these aren't secondaries, but these are high value in this veteran's case. PTSD, 70%, right? Squiggly face. That's a good one. 100% for chronic fatigue syndrome. How about a 50% rating for generalized anxiety disorder? Cool, 50%. That works. How about a 70% rating for adjustment disorder with mixed anxiety and depressed mood? 70% rating. These are high value claims. If you're going to be spending time filing a claim, high value claims. If an increased rating is what you're going after, increased benefits. If you want to be on the hamster wheel, nobody wants to. I'm kind of being an idiot here, but we get stuck on it. I'm no different. I did it for 27 years. Hamster wheel blows. We want high-value claims. Let's get this stuff moving. Secondary claims look like this. You have something that's already service-connected. In this case, it's tinnitus. You got your little secondary arrow. Somatic symptom disorder with predominant pain, persistent. Cool, 50%. That's a good secondary claim. This works for whatever you want it to work for. Somatic symptom disorder can be secondary to the back, your knees, your feet. Fill in the blanks. If this isn't making any sense to you, join my boot camp. I can help you understand the VA claims process. I have live sessions twice a month, and you can email me. I can point you in the right direction. I guarantee you're going to learn something. Be specific when filing secondary claims. So if you go into e-benefits or va.gov, you have a little checkbox here, right? My disability was caused by another service-connected disability. Oh, okay, cool. I'll just check that checkbox. Please choose the disability that caused the new disability you're claiming. Right here, right? In this box. That's what a secondary is. So Right now, we're going with depressive disorder with gambling disorder. Then we have, please briefly describe the disability. Depression's affecting my life. Depression's changing healthy living. Not bad. I would go with a statement more like this. I'm following my sleep disorder secondary to my already service-connected depression. Difficulty falling asleep. Say a few words about your symptoms. I'm tired and fatigued. My memory is suffering. My energy levels suck. I'm no longer an effective worker. That speaks to your social and occupational impairment. But at the end of it, and this is going to be a personal statement 21-4138 is where you're going to write this. Don't try to fit it all into their little box. Also, I have a doctor involved that wrote the Nexus for me. This is important. Make sure you fill out a statement for every disability you file a claim for. It's huge. Refer to your Nexus letter. Refer to the notes that are relevant to your claim and submit them with your claim so they have them. If you have 15,000 pages, submit page 5, 5,700, however many are relevant. Here's the Nexus. Point to the Nexus, the DBQ, the independent medical opinion. Point to that stuff so the VA rater doesn't have to go wading through piles of shit. Just give him the 5 pages. If he wants to go look at more stuff, more power to you, buddy. When you're filing secondary claims, make sure you provide the Nexus. If you do not provide the Nexus, you're leaving it to the VA rater, to find the Nexus. That guy can't find shit. He's overworked. He's on a clock. He's got a quota. Don't count on that guy. He's like making 40 grand a year. He has no investment in your claim. I'm here to help veterans. He's there to save his job. Provide the Nexus. What happens if you don't provide the Nexus? They're going to say this exactly right here. The VA medical opinion found no link between your radiculopathy, left lower extremity, fill in the blanks, and whatever you're trying to connect it to. And then they're going to point out that there's favorable findings and you're going to get excited. Don't get excited. Favorable findings is like double speak. The claimed issue is secondary to the primary non-service connected disability. Your lumbar radiculopathy is associated with your lumbar spine. You have been diagnosed with a disability. There's no link. There's no Nexus. Look at all this positive stuff. You got a secondary. They're conceding a lot here. You got all sorts of stuff. But guess what? You don't have a Nexus, so sorry, claim denied. Ask your VA doctor for a Nexus. If your VA doctor won't write you a Nexus, then try your private doctor. That's your second option. You need a Nexus either way, so get one. It's either a VA doctor or a private doctor. If you need help, check out medical experts at secondstrata.com. Email them. Include your phone number and tell them what you want to do. I need a Nexus for this. I need a diagnosis for that. See if they could help you out. There's a link in the description. Another thing you could do is file a TDIEU claim, total disability based on individual unemployability. So if your service-connected disability prevents you from working and you're like at 20% for your back, you have a couple other ratings and it's your back that prevents you from working, check out a TDIEU claim. Now, when you're filing a TDIEU claim, which is right here, that's all you need to focus on. You're saying that your service-connected back prevent you from working. You can't work anymore. So all this stuff, you don't need to be filing a shitload of secondaries and insomnia. You're going TDIEU route. So you need to file one claim, a TDIEU claim, and you need to get a vocational expert. Links in the description for that as well. And just focus on TDIEU. If you're going to go TDIEU, go all in. You don't need to worry about increasing current disabilities and filing secondaries and filing new claims. TDIEU, vocational expert, boom, you're in the Hundo Club. That's how that works. This is what you're looking for. You are being paid at the 100% rate because you are unemployable due to your service-connected disabilities. Your current evaluation is 70%, but we're paying you 345630. This is in essence what a TDIU claim does. You have your service-connected disabilities, and then you win your TDIU claim, and they pay you at the 100% rate. Remember my glass half full? That was kind of like a lame analogy. The point being, you need a 5-gallon jug poured into a cup of water, and we're doing secondaries. Don't keep pounding on 100% rating. 100% is all you can get. Exception that you should probably be aware of, special monthly compensation. But for me, it's not worth an extra $117 a month to put my 330206 on the line. That's a decision you're going to have to make. But let me show you what could happen. So 2012, we have 70% rating. 2014 came back with a little more evidence. Got it up to 80, 90% in 2015. 2017, we got 100%. Then we poked the bear. We came back a couple years later. I want more than 100%. Came back in 2022. I want more than 100%. There is no reason for you to keep filing claims when you're at 100%. You're maxed out. Here's what could happen. Start off at 10 in 2017. All right. Got it up to 60 in 2021. Then you got into the Hundo Club, March 4th, 2022. But you wanted to file more claims when you're at 100%. So guess what? They reduced your ass down to 70 again because that's what the VA does. I'm telling you, this is the way the VA operates. The 55-year-old rule is bullshit. 5-year rule, 10-year rule. The only rule that's worth anything, and the one that I stick by, is the 20-year rule. Once you have the same rating for 20 years and nothing changes, then your rating is protected, with one exception, fraud. None of us are filing fraudulent claims. We're just trying to figure out how to play this stupid game. You need to understand, what your disabilities are and what you're doing. Every time you file a new claim for an increase or whatever, you need to make sure that you have medical evidence to support all of your current service-connected disabilities. Let's look at a couple of examples. Here we go. We got allergic rhinitis. We got a sleep apnea with no sleep study, headaches, cervical, neck, bilateral, like you're giving all this stuff, like all these 21 things to a VA rater. Okay, your sciatica, we'll just pyramid that in with your hips, then deny your hips, right? Learn about pyramiding, learn about everything your service connected for. If you have like 25 things, it's a lot to remember. I would count on a decrease every time you want to file for an increase. So if you have tons of these conditions, make sure you're backed up. You have medical evidence, you have reports, your symptoms are reported properly. If a VA doctor is lowballing you and lying in your records, get a private doctor. Don't go filing for any kind of increase unless you're protected. I don't mean 20-year rule protected. I mean, you have some kind of medical evidence to support that you don't deserve a reduction. Be strategic when filing claims so you can formulate a solid argument if you need to appeal. I mean, this makes sense, right? I just showed you an example, like 30 things. I couldn't keep, that's 30 stories. I couldn't keep them straight, and they all are interwoven. Formulate a strategy, because if you need to appeal something because you don't agree with a decision, you could formulate an argument. Let's look. Here's a good argument. It's all highlighted, right? Oh, we denied your GERD. That's a mistake. This veteran exited 12/31/2006. They're saying October 6, 2006. They screwed up. Or they used the 10/6/06 date again. He was still in service. Make notes. Read your decision letter. Make notes on it and figure out, which one of these are the strongest argument, or argue all of them. Have a plan, have a strategy, and make an argument.